Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel. Today, we're journeying back in time to unravel some of the most enduring mysteries of the ancient world. Our focus is on a story that has captivated us for a century, King Tut's shocking origins and other amazing secrets of ancient Egypt. Prepare to have your perceptions of this golden age challenged. What if I told you that the story of the boy king, Tutankhamun, is far more complex and scandalous than you ever imagined, and that the secrets buried with him are just the tip of the iceberg? Stick with us as we decode the evidence, piece together the puzzles, and reveal the truths hidden beneath the sands of time. For centuries, the world saw Tutankhamun as the boy king, a minor pharaoh whose life was cut tragically short. His tomb, discovered in 1922 by Howard Carter, was an unprecedented treasure trove, a time capsule sealed for over 3,000 years. The golden mask, the nested coffins, the jeweled artifacts they painted a picture of immense wealth and power. But these treasures also concealed a dark and complicated family history, one that modern science has only recently begun to unravel. The real story isn't just about gold, it's about power, incest, and a desperate struggle to maintain a royal bloodline. Let's start with the big question: who were Tutankhamun's parents? For decades, historians debated this. Was his father the revolutionary pharaoh Akhenaten, the man who upended Egypt's entire religious system to worship a single deity, the Aten? And who was his mother? Was it the beautiful and iconic Queen Nefertiti? Or was it another, more mysterious wife of Akhenaten? The answer, discovered through DNA analysis of royal mummies, was genuinely shocking. Yes, his father was indeed Akhenaten, but his mother was not Nefertiti. Instead, genetic testing revealed his mother was one of Akhenaten's own sisters, a woman known to archaeologists only as the Younger Lady, whose mummy was found in a side chamber of another tomb. This means Tutankhamun was the product of a direct sibling union. While royal incest was not entirely unheard of in ancient Egypt, intended to keep the bloodline pure and divine, this particular pairing had severe consequences. The DNA results showed that Tutankhamun suffered from a host of genetic ailments. He had a cleft palate and a clubfoot, forcing him to walk with a cane. In fact, over 130 walking canes were found in his tomb, many of them showing clear signs of use. He also suffered from a bone disease and, as tests on his mummy revealed, had contracted multiple strains of malaria, the most severe of which likely proved fatal. The golden, godlike image of the boy king masks a reality of a frail, disabled young man struggling against his genetic inheritance. His early death, around the age of 19, was not the result of a chariot accident or a murder plot, as once popularly believed. Instead, it was a combination of his weakened immune system from his inherited conditions and a severe bout of malaria. His very lineage, meant to secure his divine status, was what ultimately sealed his fate. But the secrets don't end with Tutankhamun. Let's look at his father, Akhenaten. Here was a pharaoh who threw out 1,000 years of tradition. He abandoned the pantheon of gods like Amun-Ra, Osiris, and Isis, and declared there was only one god, the Aten, represented as a solar disk. He moved the capital of Egypt from Thebes to a brand new, custom-built city in the desert called Amarna. The art from this period is equally revolutionary. It broke from the stiff, formal poses of traditional Egyptian art, showing the royal family in intimate, naturalistic scenes. Akhenaten himself was depicted with strangely elongated features, a long skull, wide hips, and a potbelly. For years, scholars wondered if he suffered from a genetic disorder. However, with the DNA evidence from his family, it's now believed this was a deliberate artistic choice. It was propaganda, designed to portray him as a unique, androgynous being, the sole intermediary between the Aten and humanity, both the mother and father of his people. He was a visionary, a heretic, or perhaps a madman, depending on your point of view. But his revolution didn't last. After his death, his city was abandoned, his monuments were torn down. and his name, along with Tutankhamun's, was erased from king lists. They wanted to pretend he never existed. And what about the tomb itself? The discovery of KV-62, Tutankhamun's tomb, is a story of its own. It wasn't a grand royal pyramid. It was a small, almost insignificant tomb in the Valley of the Kings, likely intended for a non-royal noble. Why was the boy king buried in such a rush, in such a modest space? It speaks to the turmoil of the time. Upon his sudden death, his successor, a high-ranking official named A, likely scrambled to perform the necessary burial rituals. The tomb was hastily filled with a jumble of treasures, some of which weren't even originally made for Tutankhamun. Inscriptions on some items, like one of the canopic coffinets, were clearly altered, suggesting they were recycled from someone else's burial goods, possibly from Akhenaten's controversial court. Even the famous golden mask might have been repurposed. Some Egyptologists argue that the faceplate of the mask was welded onto a headdress originally intended for a female pharaoh, perhaps Nefertiti, who may have co-ruled with Akhenaten. The tomb's small size and humble location turned out to be its saving grace. Its entrance was quickly buried by debris from the construction of a later tomb, hiding it from the rampant grave robbing that plagued the Valley of the Kings. While the grand tombs of powerful pharaohs like Ramesses the Great were plundered centuries ago, Tutankhamun's rested undisturbed, a small, forgotten pocket of history. It is a perfect irony. The attempt to erase him and his family from memory is precisely what preserved his legacy for the modern world. But the secrets of Egypt extend far beyond one king. Let's consider the Great Pyramid of Giza. For thousands of years, it was the tallest man-made structure on Earth. We know it was built as a tomb for the pharaoh Khufu, but the question of how it was built continues to spark debate. The common theory involves massive ramps, but what kind of ramp? An external, straight ramp would have to be over a mile long. A spiral ramp wrapping around the pyramid would obscure the precise angles needed for construction. A more recent and compelling theory, supported by microgravity scans, suggests the use of an internal ramp. This ramp would have spiraled upwards inside the body of the pyramid itself, allowing workers to haul the massive stone blocks from within. Scans have detected anomalous voids and spiral patterns inside the pyramid that perfectly match this internal ramp hypothesis. This wasn't just brute force. It was a feat of brilliant, sophisticated engineering, planned with incredible precision. Another enduring mystery is the Great Sphinx. Who built it and why? The mainstream view is that it was carved by the pharaoh Khafre, Khufu's son, and that the face of the Sphinx is his. But there's a problem. The Sphinx shows significant signs of water erosion, not wind and sand erosion. Geologists have pointed out that this type of erosion is caused by heavy rainfall. But when was the Giza Plateau last subject to that kind of rainfall? Thousands of years before Khafre's time, during a period around 8,000 to 10,000 BC. This has led to the fringe but fascinating theory of a much older Sphinx, a monument built by a forgotten, prehistoric civilization, which Khafre later claimed and recarved. While this idea is not accepted by mainstream Egyptology, it highlights how much we still don't know, and how new evidence can challenge long-held beliefs. The world of the pharaohs was filled with rituals, beliefs, and technologies that are both alien and familiar to us. They were masters of medicine, architecture, and administration. They developed a complex system of writing, a sophisticated understanding of the cosmos, and a profound philosophy of life, death, and the afterlife. The secrets we've discussed today, the truth of Tutankhamun's parentage, the revolution of Akhenaten, the engineering of the pyramids are just a few threads in this incredibly rich tapestry. Each new discovery, whether it's an unlooted tomb, a hidden chamber detected by a scanner, or a DNA result from a lab, pulls another thread, revealing more of the intricate pattern of this amazing civilization. The sands of Egypt still hold many more secrets, waiting for us to uncover them. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey through ancient Egypt. We hope you found these secrets as fascinating as we do. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What was the most shocking secret to you? And what topics from the ancient world would you like us to explore next? Let us know. I am Venant. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.